Hello, members of the vinyl community. Tony P coming at you from the basement. La Casa de Perla, the Hacienda, the under port. The Aussies might call it the down under. I don't know what we'd call it here. The bottom, I guess. I don't know. But I'm in the basement. The Queen's upstairs resting her leg, her knee. Still up here. You know, I almost wanted to do this like Vinyl Richie. You know, give you the, hey, Vinyl Richie here. Hey, I can't do this. He's better at it. But I'm here because, and you notice I'm not sitting down. I'm usually in my other place. But Mark Morris, I think a month ago, came up with a Beatle tag. And I wanted to do the Beatle tag. But I realized I don't have a ton of Beatles stuff. I just have a few things. So this is kind of a tag because I'll probably answer some of the questions as we go through them. And I don't know, talk about them a little bit. See if you like them or not. Maybe you won't like this. I don't know. You know, you be the judge. And I'm sure you will be. And I'll try to keep this under 10 minutes. Okay, so this is part of my collection. I don't have a very big collection. Maybe if I had to say, maybe 600 albums. And you got to remember, go back to my other videos. I was a poor kid growing up. I didn't have anything, and I sort of got collecting a little later in life. And COVID helped and all that stuff, and vinyl community and all this happy stuff came up. And you know what I'm saying. So, but anyway, from about right here, where am I here? Let's get the Beach Boys out of there. There, right about, that's about this much. That's all I got. That's all I got. The very first Beatle album I have is on the other side of this room, which we'll go to in the second part. But I'm going to discuss what's here, and then I'll talk about that very first Beatle record I bought back in the day. Okay, and it's nothing really new. Nothing really new. That doesn't make any sense. It's a solo album. It wasn't a Beatles. It was a solo album, and that was, would you believe it or not, that's the first one I bought, and I really didn't buy it. But well, I'll talk about that when we get over there. Maybe. I don't know if I want to tell you that. But anyway, probably one of the very first ones that I bought that was a compilation of the whole Beatles was, if I get that glare right, the Beatles, Rock and Roll Music Volume 2. I did not pay $25 for that. I bought this at a flea market called the Haggle Hut. And this guy had a little bit of everything. He had a whole wall full of stereo equipment. You could have bought a lawnmower, a stereo, and a record if you're real smart at the Haggle Hut. And you could haggle with them about prices. And this is marked $25, and I bought it for $5. Okay, and it's a really good album. It's probably one of the best ones you want to listen to. Dears of Miss Lizzie, Anytime at All, Drive My Car, Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby, The Night Before. And you notice it has a little bit of a watermark, but that's okay. You know, I'm not going to be picky choosy. The album is like 100%. You know, Hey Bulldog. Hey Bulldog's probably the most underrated song in my opinion. That came off what, Yellow Submarine? Hey Bulldog. I like that album. Yeah. But is there a volume 1? Does anybody have a volume 1 to this? And do you want my address? Just joking. Just joking. Don't get too excited. This goes on the other side of the Beach Boys town. Now, I bought a bunch of albums in 2025 that were issued in 2024. They're European press. Let me pick one out here. If I can get my fingers in there, I will do this. I feel like Manazzi doing the mole. Do a whack-a-mole? Yeah. This one. You notice I paid $30 for it. Okay, I had some mad money because I'm a pincher. You know, this one was made in France. 2024, I think this was issued. And they sound superb, just superb. I'm guessing they did this with analog tapes. Am I correct? Mazzy probably knows. I even think this later on became a box set of the early years, if I'm not mistaken. The only one I didn't get out of this was the interviews with the Beatles. But this really, really, really good sounding. And there's like I think 4 or 5 of them. You know, Beatles' second album, Meet the Beatles. I got that one. If I can get my finger in there again, the early years, Beatles, 65. And this is like all the same time. I think some of them were made in France. One Czechoslovakia, I think. I don't know. This is Something New with the Beatles. Where was this one made? This one doesn't say. But outstanding sound quality of those. I think here's another one too. Please Please Me. This one was made in Germany. Out of those, here's another one. Hard Day's Night. And I bought these all around the same time in 2025. That one was made in France. But probably my favorite albums are coming up. I love those albums. Love the early years. Don't get me wrong. But Rubber Soul, I think this is another 2024, somewhere around there. Abbey Road. And probably my all-time favorite, you know as well as I do, Revolver. I think this is a 2018 press. I bought this one back in the day. I even take that back. The very first album I bought that was the Beatles, was Hey Jude. And it's this one. And the other one was Let It Be, I believe. And then I bought the solo one. I think it was the third album. But this is a 1970. Is that what this is? 70. It still has a shrink on it. So, and I bought this back in when I worked in high school. A supermarket I worked had an album section in there, and I bought some through them. Now these next couple, I hunted for these, and you know, when they came out with that reissue of the blue and red albums, the 3 album series, the older ones, the prices skyrocketed with them, and I really couldn't find them that was within my purse range, if you know what I mean. You know, I couldn't take enough pop bottles back. Now, you have to be my age to understand that one. Couldn't take enough pop bottles back. But I finally found it on eBay within my range. I had a little bit of mad money. I got the blue. Now, the covers aren't fantastic. And I think one's a reissue. I don't think this is. The other red one is. And I'll tell you a story about the red one. The red one, you notice I have 2 of those. This is what happens sometimes in eBay. But it turned out to be a godsend. I found one that the guy said it played mint. It was a reissue, I think, 73, if I'm not mistaken. And he says plays perfectly. So it was like, I think with tax, Pennsylvania, you have to pay a tax, anything you buy off of eBay. So I think it came out to like $24, something like that, $25, I can't remember. And when I got it, I pulled it out of there, and they looked meticulous. I mean, beautiful. And maybe I can show you what happened here. Now, he was up and up about the watermark on it. And that didn't bother me because the album, if you can see it, the album was pristine. But the wrinkled label should have been, I don't know if you can see the warp and that one. But the second one, let me see, maybe the second one will show it better to you. The second one, I don't know if you can see it through there, but you notice you can't hold it, so it's even. But I mean, they played pristine. They really, really did. But I thought a lot of money. So I contacted the seller, and he said, "Hey, I didn't look at them. I just played them. Keep them. I'll refund your money." The gentleman refunded me on the spot on eBay and told me to keep the albums. Now, I offered to send them back. He said, "No, keep them." He said, "That was my mistake." So he refunded my money, which let me go and try to purchase again, which I did. So say eBay, if you just do your due diligence, talk politely, talk nicely, you shouldn't have a problem. Most cases. My next album is White Album with a very high number, and this is the first Beatles album, the White Album, that I owned that had a serial number. I have the box set that was the reissue here not too long ago, a couple of years ago, with everything in it. The Escher files, I believe, the Escher recordings. I'm sorry, Escher files sound like something from a spy thriller. Okay, and I just wanted one that had a number, and the embossed Beatles, and the price was okay. Plays okay, plays fine. It's not perfect. I mean, I'll tell you what, I paid $15 for it. And it's not perfect, but it's not bad either, okay? I'm sure I could have waited around and got a reissue, but no serial number or anything like that. And this is even a later issuing, so it didn't bother me. And I thought the price was right. So what the hell, sue me. Last one. Now, Mark asked about, picture discs. And I'm going to give twofold here. This is a picture disc. I'll put this way. And this has more sentimental meaning for me than anything. My son Mark, when he knew I started collecting again, bought this for me. He says, "Do you mind? It's a picture disc." I said, "Heck no." And it plays well. I mean, I'm not an audiophile. I have a stereo that I've had since 1975 in most cases. And I'm having my son's other stereo that we bought for him in probably 2001, 2002, probably 2001. Okay, and this has the lyrics on the back, and it's a reissue, of course. But hey, it plays well. But that's all the Beatles on this side of the room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little pause, and I'm going to sit up on the other side of the room and show you a couple other things. Okay? So hold on for 1 second. And we're back. I just had to sit up on the other side of the room. I just got a couple CDs I want to show you, and a couple by box sets, and then we'll call it a day. All right? Again, let me fix this a little bit. I'll stand back a little bit more. How's that? Now, some CDs, 99% of these were thrift store finds, and I think one was a purchase. So, what do I have? Let's go here. Well, let me start here. First one, this was a thrift store find. All the number one hits of the Beatles. You notice, no original case. If you go to Discogs and you go to their CD section, or you hunt for the CD, they will give you the images. You can download those images. A guy by the name of Steve Harkema, I think that's what his name was. He hasn't been on for a while. Showed how you can make CD covers. The whole covers, printing them out. And you can even print out the booklet if you want the booklet, which I thought was fascinating, but it's a hell of a lot of ink, if you know what I mean. And ink's not cheap, it's expensive. So that's one of them. If I was going to go to a desert island and I can only pick one and it has a CD player, I'm a vinyl guy. Yeah. But I think I'd take this or the Red Album. Either one of those two. Love those. This is the one that was purchased. This is Yellow Submarine, of course. I threw away the cassette case because I was going to those wallets, and that was stupid of me. I should have kept the case, but I didn't. But anyhow, this is the song track to the movie, I believe. My son bought me this. He says, if you want a Beatle album, what would you get? Oh, get me Yellow Submarine. So he got me that, and it's my other son, Mark. My same son, Mark, who bought me the other stuff over there. So, got that. Now, sometimes at thrift stores, you got to be careful. I saw just this, and I thought both of them were in there, but only was one. I printed the cover from Discogs. I didn't do all of it. I printed the front and the back, and I realized I only had CD2. But I think that's okay because CD2 was good. Help, you've got to love your hideaway. We can work it out, day trip or drive my car. So, and it does everything. Just wonderful. You learn how to do the Steve. I think Value Steve, Value Vinyl was his channel, maybe? Probably. What else do I have here? Beatles. This is Beatles. Yeah, this is Beatles. Got that. I had it in vinyl. I got it also in CD. Beatles for Sale, probably one of the better albums I like. Another underrated song is Mr. Moonlight, because people just didn't like the way it sounded. But the harmony in that song, Mr. Moonlight, and the harmony. I don't have harmony here. I keep trying to get Elvis to sing with me. He ain't having it. Also, this is also really great. I got the Beatles Past Masters, Volume 1, Volume 2, and this is Volume 1 and Volume 2. I checked the last time. They were thrift store finds, and that's it for the CDs. But I promised you, I had the Beatles White Album and the Escher demos. This has all the pictures. I don't know if it has a poster. I think there's just pictures in it. I'll look someday. I'm not pulling this out and doing it. I'm sorry. I paid $15 for it at Walmart. They had that Black Friday sale right there, Thanksgiving 4 years back. They haven't done it since because they probably lost their coattails with it. This is the second thing I bought for $15 was the Let It Be, the Giles Martin mix. I gotta be careful that doesn't rip. Has the t-shirt in it. I promised the Queen the t-shirt's a large. I was gonna keep it, but I am definitely not a large. But I still have it in there. But for 15 bucks, you know what? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And let's see. Whoop, did I get that right? I hope I didn't rip anything. But I have those too. Where's my buddy? Oh, my buddy Paul McCartney might be over on that side, but we're not going to get him. But I have his first album. I got that when I was working at a grocery store. I won't tell you how I got it, but that's it. So, oh, wait. Don't go away. Wait. Maybe I can find it. If I can't find it, I won't show it to you. But if I find it, I'll show it to you. Don't go away. Please don't go away. Please don't go away. I also have a cassettes. This is the Live at BBC. The interviews they play. This is excellent tape. Excellent. Nice little box. Nice little box set. Remember I told you the Europeans usually did their cassettes with the clear plastic ones. And those are the best ones. I got this, I think it was $1.50. I got those, I think. I can't remember. But I just want to show you. I couldn't do the tag, but I'll show you my Beatle collection. I hope you're okay with that. If you like it, hey, sub to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Won't hurt, doesn't cost you a thing. And Tony P signing off. May all your records be flat. May your stylus run true. Whoop-de-doo for your Subaru, and spring training pretty soon. Pirates and catchers are already down here. Pirates and catchers. Pitchers and catchers. And I might actually watch the Pirates this year. We'll see. All right. Bye.